Greetings everyone, welcome to video number 49 in the project management series presented by Process Geekoid. Today's agenda will be going over reviewing the PMBOK process table as well as the 45th process, which is Plan Stakeholder Management process. As always, please subscribe, like, and comment. So let's move forward. After identifying our stakeholders, we need to plan how to manage the stakeholders based on their power, influence, and interest. Obviously, the stakeholder register comes in as an input along with the project management plan, along with EEFs and OPAs as inputs. The 45th process of Plan Stakeholder Management is the process of developing appropriate management strategies to effectively engage stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle, which encompasses from initiation to closing, based on the analysis of their needs, interests, and potential impact on project success. Next, we'll be going over the ITTOs, inputs, tools, techniques, and outputs for Plan Stakeholder Management. And the inputs are project management plan, and the project management plan includes the life cycle selected for the project and the processes that will be applied to each phase, description of how the work will be executed to accomplish the project goals, description of how human resource requirements will be met and how roles and responsibilities, reporting, relationships, and staffing management will be addressed and structured for the project. Then you have a change management plan that documents how changes will be monitored and controlled. And then you also have need and techniques for communication among stakeholders. Then the other piece you need is obviously the stakeholder register, which is an input coming from identify stakeholder process. And then you always have your EEFs and OPAs as your inputs. Moving on to tools and techniques. We have expert judgment, which can come in the form of senior management guidance, project team members, other units or individuals within the organization, identified key stakeholders, project managers who have worked on projects in the same area directly or through lessons learned, subject matter experts or SMEs in the business or project area, industry groups and consultants, professional and technical associations, regulatory bodies, and non-governmental organizations or NGOs could all be forms of expert judgment in planning for stakeholder management. Also, we'll also be having meetings and using analytical techniques to plan for stakeholder management. The output is going to be the stakeholder management plan and project document updates. So the updates are going to be made specifically to project documents such as the stakeholder register and project schedule. And in the stakeholder management plan, it will be spelling out the desired and current engagement levels of key stakeholders, the scope and impact of change to stakeholders, identify the interrelationships and potential overlap between stakeholders, stakeholder communication requirements for the current project phase, information to be distributed to stakeholders such as the language, format, content, and level of detail, reason for the distribution of information and expected impact to stakeholder engagement, time frame and frequency for the actual distribution of required information, and the method for updating and refining the stakeholder management plan. Then the updates to the project document updates are to the project schedule and stakeholder register. So those are your outputs. Now the key benefit of this process is that it provides a clear, actionable plan to interact with project stakeholders to support project interests. Last but not least, I'd like to cover the tool and technique of stakeholder management and engagement. So the way that we'll do this when we plan for stakeholders is to look at the stakeholder management levels and engagement matrix needed to plan for engaging the stakeholders. And the matrix shows the current versus the actual desired state of stakeholder engagement as well as support for the project. So the project manager must discuss gaps with the team to facilitate the transition from current to desired state of stakeholder engagement. And you can see here that in the matrix here you have stakeholder 1 is unaware. You want to make them to be supportive. Then you have stakeholder 2, who is neutral, and you want them to be more supportive. And stakeholder 3 is going to be doing both, D and C. So the end goal is to make everyone supportive, and that's basically the plan that you would have, and the end goal is to make them supportive and leading at the same time. So both of these are important. You never want to have an unaware or resistant stakeholder, because that's going to cause problems for your project. So the various categories of stakeholders are unaware. Unaware stakeholders are those unaware of the project and the potential impacts. Resistant stakeholders are aware of the project and potential impacts but resistant to taking in the change. Neutral are people that are aware of the project but they don't have any supportive or resistant tendencies. Then the best type of stakeholders are supportive and leading. And supportive stakeholders are aware of the project and potential impacts and support of the change. And leading are aware of the project and potential impacts and actively engaged, ensuring the project is a success. In most cases, supportive and leading stakeholders are the ones that will make you successful as a project team, and you'll need them on their side as much as possible. And the engagement can be documented using a stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, as we just talked about. You can see that you want to take your stakeholder 1 who is unaware and make them leading or supportive. That's the end goal. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, and comment.